Yassas, and welcome to this Eurovision vlog. Today, we have the entry from Cyprus, which is called I Wanna Be a Star by Nicole Nicolaou. I have no idea what we're about to hear. I do know that Cyprus used an internal selection this year. Completely internal, so Nicole was an internal selected artist, and the song was internally selected. So, let's have a look at how this one goes. Oh, nice. A powerful, impactful beginning. I'm kind of loving the part, the synth part. This sounds like it comes from Cyprus. Like, I'd hear this and I'd be like, oh yes, the Cypriot entry. I'm really loving it. It's just that, I don't know, maybe I'm just really into Greek pop music at the moment. Ooh, tempo change. That's interesting. I'm liking the tempo change, but is it gonna... I think that was a key change. I really like the way this entry is panning out. It's interesting, like the tempo changes and the key changes, not something you'd expect, but it's something that I like nonetheless. In terms of first impressions on the Cypriot entry this year, good job. There's just something really infectious about it. Like, there are a couple of places where I was like, ooh, what's going... Ooh, that's nice. They didn't keep everything exactly the same every time, and that's something that I really enjoy with pop music. When the variations kick in, that's just something that personally I like it when there is variation in my pop music from chorus to chorus. That way I feel like time is passing, and it's just one of those personal things that, like, every now and then you get a song that just stays at the same tempo the whole time, and you're just like, You sit there and you're wondering, is something gonna change? Now, I said tempo like 2 sentences ago. I didn't necessarily mean tempo. When something stays at the same pace for the whole song, I don't necessarily like that. And that's just because it feels like time hasn't really passed and it just kind of drags things out. This song did a pretty good job at not doing that, in my opinion. Let's give this one a review. It just looks so fun, like all the pier shots, I want to do that. Like, that's something dumb, but it just feels fun. Every time this part comes, I'm just like, okay, but then after a few seconds I'm like, oh yeah. In terms of the Cypriot entry, it's a fun dance number every year. If there's not a fun dance number within, like, the number that end up going to Eurovision, I kind of sit there like, okay. Fair call, but at the same point in time, I like my fun dance numbers. I love numbers that use Greek and English in the same song. And I don't know why this is. Possibly it's a thing of having grown up around Greek culture. It is this thing of, well, you've given me a version of Greek culture that I can actually understand without having to ask someone, hey, what does this mean? Because as much as I would love to be able to speak Greek, I don't speak it very well. I can pick up words here and there, but that's a story for another time. Another personal thing that I really love, 4-note stings, like going into the chorus, when, like, especially that first chorus where there was the dun 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 dun. I love things like that. In terms of the last chorus, I thought that was a really anthemic chorus. The way that it was structured in the song, it just came at the right time. There is a part before that I'm going to talk about, but I just feel like that whole anthemic chorus, that's the right part of a song to have a chorus where you kind of strip the drums away for 4 or 8 bars. Speaking of the drums, those drums are thick, they are anthemic, they make you want to get up and dance to the track. Drums can be a pretty heavy foundation. if you don't have the right drums, you could potentially ruin the entire track. And it can be one of those really hard things to pick because drums can just be difficult like that. One of the major points that I have is this entry sounds like it comes from Cyprus. And I just really love it when a song sounds like it comes from the country that it's representing. This is about the first time that I've said this year, and I've gone through this is the 10th entry that I've heard. In terms of my dislikes, I do have a couple of major ones that I would really like to address. One, live vocals. You really don't know what live vocals are going to be like, especially with a dance number, especially if Nicole is going to be dancing. There are some artists that can get away with doing dancing and singing at the same time. Sofia Patsalides, who represented Cyprus 3 years ago in Junior Eurovision, really got away with it. She could dance and she could sing at the same time. It's almost as if her dancing did not actually impact her singing at all, which for someone who is 13, 14, which I'm guessing Nicole is around, that is a really tough thing to be able to do. And also there's a matter of the tempo change on the first listen. It is a bit jarring, but it's not jarring enough that you can't slip back into it a couple of words into that part. It's just, I'm vaguely curious what they're going to do at Junior Eurovision when it comes to recapping. Do you recap that part or do you recap the chorus? It was a strange decision to include that part, but I'm going to reward them for the risk. If you have an opinion on these songs, please feel free to tweet at We Are Eurovision or comment below. Like and subscribe if you wish to. There's more of these to come. I'm going to say this song is going to come about 9th. Why would I say that? Ipio Omofimera came around 9th. And as much as I would love to say, oh yeah, this one's going to be different, I really struggle to see the tempo change connecting with audiences as well as, say, an ordinary key change might. And it's just one of these things that I sit there and I'm like, I don't know how the tempo change is going to go down. Right when you're getting, into the groove of the song kind of changes a little bit. And usually a tempo change down that then goes back up, that sometimes doesn't do as well. So I'm curious. I'm very curious. In terms of my personal scores, I gave it a 10 out of 10 on the first listen. My second listen was a 9 out of 10. And the third listen was another 10 out of 10. So I gave it an overall 10 out of 10, despite, my worry about the tempo change. And you know what? A little bit of jarring on the tempo change. Thank you very much for watching, and na vam peace.